we've been talking so much about investments, but I almost neglect to ask you about your career story. I mean, you have a remarkable success story to share with us. First of all, being a successful woman in an industry that's typically associated with men, right? So maybe we should ask you that how did you do it? How did you make it in this male-dominated industry and do well?
I think because I have a supportive family, that's one, and I love what I do.
So are they going to start saying that behind every successful woman is a good husband?
Yes.
Okay.
And a supportive mom and dad, family as well. Yes.
And how difficult was it for you did you have any role models that helped you get started, or was it all on your own? And maybe more importantly, for the younger women out there, what are some of the things that you can tell them as they are maybe pursuing a similar career path that you are on right now?
There's no shortcut. You have to do your homework. You have to start somewhere and study, and from there move up. I had a lot of help. Up to now, I have a lot of good friends, mentors, who are showing me the way. Some of them been there, done that. They're giving me advice. You need that. I have good friends like you, and they're very supportive. So I believe I'm lucky in that respect, because aside from a very supportive family, my husband there, I have a lot of friends who also encouraged me in the past to put up my own, to come up with my own brokerage firm. They know that I'm passionate with what I do. I've been doing it for more than 2 decades, so they said it's time for you to also do it on your own. And when you, of course, know what you're doing, people will help you succeed. And true enough, we're still here. We've survived the pandemic, and we're proud of that.
Congratulations for that. That's no small feat. But what are some of the challenges that you went through? They say that your mistakes are as important as your successes.
Yes.
Because they are often instructive. Is there an experience that you went through that gave you that kind of experience and insight that you find valuable today? Maybe help you survive the pandemic? Because that was tough.
Yes. But as a woman, working in a male-dominated industry, putting up my own, it was not a walk in the park, definitely. But it was somehow also manageable because of the help of a lot of friends. But what I experienced in the past also, which made me somehow persevere, is that, because I'm a woman, some of my bosses in the past would say, "Oh, you got that deal or you closed that big account because maybe that guy, you charmed him, he likes you." It was like, really? It's not because I'm capable of doing it or I was really good at it. That's why I was able to close a big deal. So those things. But it was a side joke. But that it's not good,
it's half
right?
meant.
Yeah,
even though it came off as a joke.
Correct. And another guy, foreign guy, said, "Oh, because you're wearing mini skirt, that's why you always get deal." So something like that. Those are things that I hear, but I don't let it affect me. At the end of the day, I know that I'm skilled. I know what I'm doing. I studied and I know the market well, so I'm able to give advice to my clients, and that's why they're with me up to today. They're supporting me up to today because they trust me. And at the end of the day, if people trust you, they will work with you. They will come to you, and they'll help you also succeed because you're helping them succeed. You add value to them. So it's a two-way thing.
Yeah. Well, what would you tell younger women? It seems like there's sometimes also a disadvantage to not only being a woman, but also being, good-looking and presentable in terms of people not taking you seriously, right? What would you tell them? Obviously, you went back to school. I noticed that you got your MBA. You went on other programs abroad.
All sponsored by the company that I worked for in the past, which is good, right?
Yeah, but even then, you had to attend class and do the work, right? It's not easy.
So
but what would you tell younger women who are starting out?
Correct.
Right?
Well, as shared, there's no
so that
shortcut.
They'll be taken more seriously than and not be teased like you were. Said, "Oh, you just charmed that person. That's why you got the deal."
That's true. Well, they have to know really what they're doing, right? At the end of the day, yes, It's an advantage when you look good. It can open doors for you. But for you to stay in that room, you have to have a lot of brain matter. You have to really know it, right? If not, then you won't be taken seriously. So people will know if you really know what you're doing. Right? And for you to become an expert in a way, it takes years. And as shared, you have to build trust. Build relationships, because from there it will be easy to grow in your career, whatever field you'll choose in the future. And as as a woman, I always feel like it's an advantage actually, because it's easy to open door when when you're a woman, and at the same time when they realize that, hey, she knows what she's doing, she's good, and it's an added plus, so it's easy to become successful.
Well, I think it's hard enough in the Philippines, especially in an industry like yours, but there's this added layer of difficulty because you deal also with foreigners whose culture is also very much male dominated.
You have to be tough, right?
You have to be tough.
Yes.
Now you're working with some committee in the European Chamber. Can you tell us about that? What is the advocacy there with this women's committee, or what is it called?
I'm the chair of the Women in Business of the European Chamber of Commerce. There's this Women in Business committee. And the goal back in 2016 when we started that really is just to have a place wherein young professionals can meet experienced women also in the industry, members of the European Chamber of Commerce, wherein they'll exchange ideas, they'll inspire each other, maybe come up with business, and from there grow, network. And up to today, it's there, but primarily the same thing is just to support and advocate the women empowerment thing. And if they need help, they can approach us and connect them with the right people. So that's the main advocacy that we're trying to promote.
Well,
supporting women, supporting women.
Yeah, I think in Philippine society, women are pretty empowered. In fact,
we have a lot of
more successful women than I think more successful Filipino men.
Leaders,
in many fields. But like I said, when you're dealing with Europeans, with North Americans, and they come from their society where it's very much male dominated, there's that added layer of difficulty that you deal with. So the committee that you deal with, is it more of support, or is it also more of maybe teaching them ways to deal with people who will tease you? Oh, you're not serious.
Yeah, there are parts of that, training, mentorship, and the European Chamber of Commerce is also very active. We have several committees doing that, so there are some trainings on that as well.
Right. And so I guess is that also a major program of the European Chamber? I guess
at least for the women in business and their
women's rights, equal rights,
yes,
gender bias,
promoting that. But as you have shared, the Philippines, we're actually quite high in that scale, right? A lot of women leaders here in the country, and that's because I think we have good support. Like I have my mom and dad there. A lot of Filipinos, they have extended family. So it's not hard for a woman to actually focus on her career because someone will take care of your kids when you're at work. We can afford house help here compared to, Europeans or Americans, wherein it's very expensive to have those help. Here in the Philippines, I see a lot of successful women taking the leadership role because there is really support that we have. We have a battalion sometimes of helpers at home, right? We have nannies, drivers, and so you can really focus on your career and grow your career if you want to. And then if you have a supportive family, moving up the ladder is easy.
Yeah. You said, half jokingly earlier about having a supportive husband, but seriously, that's a very important aspect, isn't it?
Yes.
The dynamics at home.
Correct.
What are some of the things, as a mom, as a wife?
Yes.
What are some of the things that you could tell the younger people who are maybe not yet married, right, but want to have a serious career like you? What are some of the advice that you give them so that they don't have that problem where family becomes an obstacle now to pursuing career, or vice versa, to have a happy family life career now becomes the obstacle. What would you give?
The number one advice.
What would you tell young women?
They have to find the right partner in life. It's very important. You'll be with that person most of the time, right? And if he or she is not supportive, then it will not be easy for you to pursue whatever you want as well. So that person should be really your partner, right? If
so
you can't go to the school, he can go to school, right? And be with the kids, something like that.
So what's right? I've been looking through the directory. No one is called Mrs. Right. What are the attributes? I suppose you wouldn't advise rushing into things.
Yes.
What are some of the, I suppose, things that you should consider? Because, you know, choosing a partner in life is actually an important business decision.
Somehow, right?
Yeah, no, seriously, right?
Yeah, well, that person should also compliment you and support you, right? If he or she is supportive of your career or what you do, then that's a good sign. Because he will allow you to grow, because he or she knows that you are passionate in that career or whatever you're doing, and he will give you time. He will support you, even invest on that as well. And that's good. I grew with my husband. We started together, and we're both where we are together. And we've been married for 20 plus years already.
Congratulations!
Almost 20
You know, that's
years.
a rarity these days.
Yes,
and really, no mean achievement. Sheila, I really appreciate the time you gave us today and the advice, the investment advice you shared with us, and I will follow up on that later. But before we leave, would you like to leave a message to our audience about real estate, about being a woman leader, or maybe something else you'd like to share with them?
Well, my advice, well, not really advice, but I just wish that everyone's healthy and safe. Health is wealth. That's what we have realized in the last how many years. And as long as we are healthy, we can do so many things in life. So I think that's it for today.